It is a windy day out here, I'm telling you, getting all these cameras and stuff set up. And I think I hear Coach Vic. Let's see what's going on with her. What are you doing? I guess that's how you carry two helmets, one on your head, one in your lap.
You put one on.
Well, thank you for
heavy sitting down in my wheelchair.
Thank you for carrying my helmet for me. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
I got all the cameras set up on them. Yeah, but thank you. I'll get that for you. So how you feeling there, Coach Vic?
Doing it mighty fine. Hey-okay.
Hey-okay. Hey-okay. I'm feeling good, Coach.
Doing good.
You look like a bobblehead from behind. Boogie head from left, right. Go. All right. Hey, I cleaned the trailer up today, too. You notice that?
Oh, yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, I could tell you. I could tell you could tell.
I thought you were talking to the people. Yeah,
No, I was talking to you. You ready to get on a Spider and go get some lunch?
Yep.
I ain't gonna tell you where we're going. It's a surprise.
I thought we were going.
Oh, I guess you did know. It was gonna be a surprise, but my surprise is sometimes I surprise myself by not remembering it's a surprise.
Is there a visor on this? No, there's
Yes,
not.
there is.
Oh, there is? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that's fine.
I'll get you sunglasses.
Nah, I'll just not wear them. That's fine.
We got too much stuff.
I know, I just want to go for a ride, but it takes like this, ordeal.
Yeah. I don't have my phone.
You don't have your phone?
I don't have my phone with me yet. Cold?
Well, it's going to be cold when we ride, but I'll deal with it.
I didn't have my sunglasses on yet, man. Caught me working out here. Yeah, I wasn't doing
Why are you doing that? Don't you gonna freaking pinch me?
I would never pinch you.
Break it.
Oh my gosh.
Break it. Oh, bicycle. I ain't doing that again.
Well, having your helmet on made it hard.
No, I can't do that with a helmet on next time. That's a bad thing.
That's a bad thing.
Oh, gosh.
You were ready? I can't help it. Time!
Oh my gosh, we're never gonna get there.
Well, all right, I'm moving. Going fast as I can. I ain't even got a place to sit.
Did you really come out here to put your shoes on?
I came out here to keep you company. And then I was gonna sit on your footrest, but your foot's on your footrest.
Man, my eyeballs are so tired.
Go to sleep, like you normally do.
Well, I didn't get any sleep last night. Last night was my first night with a lot less sleep in 3 weeks. By like 7 hours.
7 hours less, or you only got 7 hours?
Both.
Yeah, because you've been sleeping 14.
About 12. I'm more than that if I get in bed at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get up till like 10, so yeah, it's a little more
you
than
got
that.
14 hours. Yeah, you've been sleeping. That's good though. Body's got to heal up. Crank this baby up, let it warm up while I get my jacket on.
Get the heater on.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right.
How do I put the sun visor down? How do I put my eye visor down?
You ask Uncle Bob to do it for you. It's on the side.
What did you say, Uncle Bob?
You ask Uncle Bob. Say, Uncle Bob, will you put my sun visor down? Uncle Bob, I like your little white shoes. They're all spiffy and clean.
That's how I do it.
That's how you roll.
That's how I roll.
One thing I'm going to do before we roll, though, I am going to, although I locked the trailer on there and everything, I'm going to give it a good shove and a hack. Yeah. Shooby-dooby-dooby.
Oh, here we go.
Boy, that sounded awfully like, all right, here
Exactly.
we go. So, Coach Vic, I got an email this week I want to talk to you about. Now, I figured this would be a good time to talk about it.
Because I don't know about it.
It would be like an episode or something, you know. So I had a guy, I believe he was from Australia, as a matter of fact. He was talking about a health condition that he had and how he was riding a two-wheeler and he is considering moving over to a Spyder, but he's not sure if it's a good decision or not, because he's worried that the physical maladies that he has, and I'm going to talk about that with more detail here in a minute, but those physical maladies would keep him from riding a Spyder. So first, now I'm going to tell you what those physical problems are. But before we do that, if you would, give this video a big old thumbs up, share it with your friends, like it, all that jazz. We would appreciate it. Without further ado, what we're going to say is this: he was having problems with balance. He's getting a little up in years. He's in his late 70s.
Late 70s.
Late
up
70s.
In the years. Wow.
Yeah, and but he doesn't really want to give up on riding. He doesn't want to quit riding, and he's gotten curious about the Spyder. He stumbled across our channel. He grabbed my email, fired this thing off. He said he was a little reticent about leaving anything in the comment section. You know, the troll land can get kind of crazy down there. But so he's like, do you think I'm too old? Do you think because I don't have balance, or as good a balance as I had, do you think that I could still ride a Spyder? He said he still had good hand strength and good core strength and all that jazz. And I know that everybody has to make a decision for themselves. So I'm going to give him information via this video. I sent him back an email to watch this Saturday. We're going to have a video discussing it. I'm not going to answer your question directly and go, yes, you should buy a Spyder, or no, you should not buy a Spyder, because I would not want to do that and then somebody get hurt and then they go, man, Coach Bob told me to buy the Spyder and now I got hurt. It's all Coach Bob's fault. He's a jerk. But we also do want to let people know, when is the what was the do not fold, spindle, or mutilate when you were sending stuff back into the IRS? They tell you that, you know, when you're mail. So when are you too folded, spindled, and mutilated to ride? Is there a number? Is there a physical something? When can you do it? When can't you do it? Is there a limitation? I'm gonna lower the shield. The wind is starting to hit me a little bit. So what do you think there, Coach?
Well, that riding on the Spyder is definitely a lot more stable than riding on two wheels. So if he's got, you know, a little, you know, if he's got some balance, I hardly have no balance, I can ride it. You know, he's got hand strength and he can put the foot brake, use the brake. Yeah. So we will agree that balance, that just, you know, I mean, obviously if you have dizzy spells, that's different than balance, but just pure physical balance, can we go ahead and throw that one out the window? Because you're a T7 paraplegic, so right. Coach Vic is paralyzed from 2 inches beneath her sternum, so if I set her in the floor, she will literally fall over. If you can get on the Spyder and hold on, then you can ride the Spyder.
Okay. So the balance issue, we can go ahead and throw that one out of the way. So the balance side of it, and the leg strength, if you're strong enough to step on the Spyder and you're strong enough to press a foot brake,
then you can ride. I would say you could ride.
I would say that you're good there. So
you have to use your, you know, you got to use your common sense to know, can you do it or not? Everybody's got different levels of ability. Can you press the brake? Yes. Can you press the brake? No. So.
Well, you know, and then so if you have enough strength to get on the Spyder and you have enough strength to press a brake, whether that be, and that could even be if you went with the ISCI brakes, because I know there are paraplegics riding the Spyders.
Right, exactly.
And they're using the hand brake. So
yes.
So the balance side and the actual strength side, you just need to be strong enough to turn a throttle and pull a lever or press a brake pedal. That's
right.
Really all you need to be able to do to ride this thing. And you have to have enough left-hand dexterity to press a button.
And if you're going from a two-wheeler to a three-wheeler and you're one of those guys who's ridden for years, I'm assuming, which is safe to say, that you know how to ride. So going from a two-wheel to a three-wheel, I didn't find it a problem. When I rode this and you were my brake, I found it very easy to transition from a two-wheel to the three-wheel.
Yeah. Well, I do too. I mean, you know, look, now of course I know that I'm in a little bit of a different scenario. I'm not dealing with strength issues or balance yet. You know, that day's coming for all of us, right, if we live long enough. But I would not be afraid to ride the Spyder if I was having balance issues. When I, you know, had a knee injury, I was able to ride the Spyder. You know, I mean, I couldn't hardly walk, and yet I could ride the Spyder. I wouldn't ride my two-wheelers because I was afraid if I put my right leg down that it would just collapse there for a while. But once my knee was rehabbed, I was good to go right back on the Spyder. Yep. So balance and strength, as long as you got the just general strength. So age, let's talk about age. How old is too old? That's a loaded question, isn't it?
Exactly, because some people feel old when they're in their 50s, and some people feel young in their 70s, like this man, for example.
Right. So I mean,
I can see my mom and dad getting on a Spyder riding it with no problem.
Yeah.
And they're like 79 and 80. I can see them getting on it and go.
Yeah, I think
not real long on day one, of course, but being physical enough to get on the Spyder and learn the mechanics of it, they can get on it and go.
Yeah, I agree. I think they could certainly do it. You know,
but then you have someone as young as 21 who's never ridden a motorcycle before. That person has probably more trouble riding it than my parents would.
Yeah, I agree. You know, a lot of it, I would say, is going to be based on this. If you feel that your reaction time is good enough to, say, drive a vehicle of any kind, whether it be an automobile or a Spyder, I think that you could safely ride a Spyder. Because it really, at that point, is about reaction time and being able to maintain a speed where you're not afraid when you're in this external environment. You know, recently I had a young man ride the Spyder. He had never ridden a motorcycle or even ridden in a convertible. He's in his mid-20s. And when we were doing 30 miles an hour, he thought we were flying. He's like, this is unbelievable how fast it is. And I'm like, look down. And he's like, we're only doing 30? I'm like, yeah. And then when I got on the front and got up there and rode him, we're doing 60. He's like, this is unbelievable. You're like in a rocket ship. So your perception of speed, as long as you're not afraid of being able to go, because you do have to get out of people's way and you do have to be able to ride safely, and part of that is being able to blend in with that flow of traffic. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I do agree with that.
So apparently I had also, quick change of subject, apparently I told Coach Vic where we're going for lunch. I meant to surprise her, but you know, I probably said, hey, we're going to go for a lunch ride. We're going to go to McCormick's, and I messed up. I wanted to surprise her, but sometimes I let the old cat out of the bag with the old big mouth, you know. I don't have a big mouth to a coach.
No, never.
Say never.
Never.
So are you too old to ride a Spyder? If you can step up on it, if you can hit the brakes, if you're not afraid of being in the external environment, can blend in with traffic, and you still have reasonable reaction time, enough to where you can safely drive an automobile, I would say you can ride a Spyder, regardless of any age. I think if someone's 90 years old and on a walker, if they can press the brake and they have reaction time, if they're 100 years old and on a walker, and they have the reaction time to do it, I believe they could do it. And do it safely, or at least as safely as I can.
Right.
I mean, let's address the elephant in the room. Riding anything is inherently dangerous. Being outside, unprotected by that big metal cage that you sit in when you're in an automobile, makes this much more dangerous than driving a car. It just does.
Yeah.
So if you, but telling me that you just got off of a two-wheeler, yeah, I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine.
Right. Yeah, I think go from 2 wheels to 3 is not a problem.
All right.
Not a problem. Actually, you'll actually enjoy it. It's a good ride. It's a fun ride. So
it is. It's a fun ride.
If you have the gumption to go ride, I'd say go get your 3-wheeler and go ride.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And it doesn't make you any less unmanly, if you want to say that.
Well, you can say that. You know, there is that aspect of it, right? There is this masculinity that we carry around, that we go, you know, hey, I've ridden a Harley for 40 years, and you know, I made fun of the guys on the 3-wheelers, you know, and look, I did. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was young and riding Harleys, I made fun of the guys on the 3-wheelers. I thought this thing here was goofy. I thought it looked, you know, like the stepchild that nobody wanted.
Well, it is a good ride. So if you want to continuing getting out on the road, go for it.
Now, you've ridden on the back of 2-wheelers. Now, you're on the back most of the time. We know that, and that's cool. But I guess my question is this. Even on the back, fatiguing-wise, would you say this is less fatiguing than riding on a 2-wheeler for you?
Way less. I can ride on this all day long.
In fact, you have.
And I have many a times. Yeah, way less fatigue. Oh, very easy to sit back here and ride. Very easy.
So if you have a wife, even that, you know, for you guys out there that are riders, and you go, man, my wife is having, you know, has MS or something like that, and she wants to ride, but the movement, the left to right movement of a motorcycle, just the pitch of the motorcycle when you throw it into a turn, can really mess with someone's equilibrium, and it can mess with their brain quite heavily if they're afraid. And that's the thing that this offers, is that flat riding, I'll call it. You know, you have the feeling of the centrifugal force. I'm going to go around this little turn here, and hopefully this guy doesn't come over on me. But as we go around this, you know, there's that feeling when I push the wheel to the right that it wants to throw me to the left, but it's not extreme, it's not radical, it's not something that is scary, and it's something that I think is way less disconcerting than a 2-wheeler when you're leaning into that turn, and that the pitch of that bike throws itself over. So if you have a wife that has a physical problem, you know, Vic, you've been dealing with the cool car 57. You've been dealing with some dizzy spells after your surgery, and you've had a couple while we were riding, but it really hasn't. Has it scared you at all when we're on the Spider?
No. It just worries me because I'm having a dizzy spell the way I feel, but I don't get worried about falling because I know I'm not going to fall, you know. But no, I have not worried at all.
Which is another thing, you know, we have the BRP armrest. Coach Vic, look down at your BRP armrest so they can see those. We have the BRP armrests, and those things are excellent for security for the passenger. So if you have a Spider, getting a good strong set of armrests that gives them that lateral support is paramount, I believe. And then we've got our little backrest. Coach Vic can look down at that.
Look down, okay.
That basically, you know, kind of locks her in at the front. And then the seat, which you can't look at because it's behind her, is concave, so her back sits in it, and that also keeps her from jostling from left to right. So she is very stable back there and surrounded, you know, 360 degrees basically, with some sort of support. And like when I'm on the brakes right here, one of the things that I do, I press my back into the backrest, because the backrest is one of those that kind of folds down, and so I'll press my back into it, making sure that there's support on that backrest, so that when Coach Vic, if she goes to lean forward or tilt forward, that she's not moving. So just another little pointer for when you're riding with that person that you think may have a problem. All right, well, we're gonna shut these cameras down for a little while, go get us some grub, and we'll talk to you on the flip side.
Pew!
I figured we'd show you a little bit of this beautiful ride up here, so just enjoy some of the scenery as we head for our little lunch date. let's get some grub. You ready for some barbecue? Barbecue. Barbecue is my happy place. You're going in the outdoor. She's all confused. She's just discombobulated, discombobulated. Tell me what you want, I'll order.
Oh my gosh, I know.
So we are at McCormick's Deli.
Yes, we are.
And it's great. By the way, what kind of pie is that, Vic?
Pecan pie.
Is it?
Pecan pie.
Or is it pecan pie?
I don't care. Pecan.
Is a pecan a pie, or is it that little thing you put up under your bed in the wintertime?
What? Pecan?
A pecan.
Pecan. Ah. You can't eat that now.
I know.
Oh, we've eaten that before. Lunch.
This is my appetizer. Yep.
This is mine.
Spraying.
Wasn't it BLT?
There's been a disappointment. Go to a barbecue place and get a BLT.
Oh, another BLT.
So I'm the fries. Yep.
Oh, thank you. It's a lot of food. I can't eat all this.
So when you eat here, you just plan on this being your only meal of the day. Right? Would you say it's your only meal of the day?
Yep.
You got a nice Texas toast. I got the fries. I got the carbs on top of the carbs.
Oh, we got fries.
You were going to get fries and you changed your mind. I'm like, she really wants fries.
I did.
She's trying to behave. So I figured I'd get them so you could taste them. So here you go. Take all you want.
Give me pepper.
When Coach Vic smelled the barbecue, she got an immediate burst of energy. All I can say is this is about to get really ugly, so I better turn this camera off. What do you think? You agree? What are you doing? You on your phone again?
Just for 1 second. I wasn't on it the whole time, and I get on it, and he videotapes me on yours too.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
I just got on it.
Where did the food go?
I finished it all.
I'm just going to go on the official record and say she ate a large portion of my fry.
No, he ate more of his fries. I should get an order to go. They were really good fries.
They were good fries. And
oh, take a picture of the fries.
there's the man right there, the owner of this fine establishment. What's happening?
How's everybody on a wonderful Friday?
That's right.
McCormick's Deli on Capitol Circle West, Northwest. Come visit McCormick's Deli.
We try really hard. Hopefully we don't dress to impress. We taste. The
food is really
all about
good.
the taste.
That's right. Those ribs killed me. They slaved me. They were awesome.
Here. Here.
I wonder if that reflection will even come up on the camera. I guess we'll find out.
Oh, can you see it?
I don't know. I have sunglasses on. It's hard to see anything in a camera.
Oh,
But you know when you do a super view, it goes, whoa!
I don't like super view. Why? Do you do that to me when you're all in your thin looking? Look at your slim and look at mine. Mine's all big and bulky, and yours is all slim and thinny.
So here's my question.
How does that happen?
Are you too old? Are you too old?
No.
Are you too broken?
No.
Are you too weak?
No, I'm not weak.
Not weak at all. In fact, on a scale of day to week, you'd be a mutt.
Oh my gosh.
Some of them got blue lights on their motorcycles. That's one of them new blue LED light kits. People pull over for that kit. I thought that might have been our neighbor. I got my camera, my windshield camera's in my lap. The pollen here is doing weird things, and so it'll get on the windshield, and then the camera won't stick. The suction cup won't stick because of the pollen. It gets all slickery. So I'm gonna have to, the next red light when I get stopped, I'll repair it. All right. Oh, turn this Tears for Fears down. Don't want the YouTube police putting me in jail. I'm gonna raise this up. I'll bring her back down. Hopefully I can get this on here. There we go. Nice. All right, there we go. Let's turn her on. All right, I'm gonna flip yours back on. Tell me when it beeps. All right. All right, we're all working. Look at that. And by working, we don't mean actually working. Man, I'll tell you what, people do work hard, man. So, we have answered the question, are you too old to drive? Well, I think we answered it not with an age number, but with a number of physicality. If you're, like I said, if you can press or squeeze a brake lever, if you have good reaction time, and you can physically get on the Spider, you can ride a Spider. You can do it. There are all kinds of people out there riding these things, and when I mean that, I mean all walks of life, all physical abilities, all ages. It really is a very cool thing. And unlike a lot of things, you know, Coach Vic did bring up something about the this perception of what a Spider rider is or what a Spider rider is not. It is difficult when you have. I'm on the brakes. I'm on the brakes. It's all compressing down into one lane. Anyway, they widened this road 6 years ago. They still haven't finished it. They just decided to paint lines on it instead. But you know, as you become a Spider rider, you do have to let go of that perception of, you know, if I'm not riding this or riding that, I'm not cool. And that is a real thing, man. I know there are going to be people down there, oh, it doesn't matter what you ride and all that. Yeah, you know, I agree with you. But it doesn't negate the fact that there are insecurities when you want to ride something different. And there are a lot of people who ride the Spider not because they want to ride the Spider, but because they want to ride, and they know that they can't ride anything other than something like the Spider. And so for those people, yeah, you know, the question is, what if somebody like Mark Marquez, a professional racer, or Ted, even my buddy, you know, who's had some physical issues over the last few years, what about those guys? You know, do they want to ride enough to be on something like this? For them, they make fun of me, you know, Ted and these guys, they laugh at me, driving up on a couch, you know, that kind of thing. And they're right. I am driving up on a couch, and it is comfortable like a couch. And so the idea that you can ride and be comfortable and enjoy it when your body is aching or hurting is something that I think that folks who want to ride but are having a hard time overcoming that feeling that they're not as cool as they once were, let that go and enjoy the experience. And I believe that once you get on a Spider, once you actually sit in the seat of a Spider and ride it for a while, it's not going to be as powerful as the two-wheel that you come from, probably. It's not going to handle as well. It's not going to stop as well. I did a braking test. It's not even comparable. It's more in line with a car on the braking distance than it is on a motorcycle. Now, maybe the big giant touring motorcycles, that's different. You know, big touring Harley or something, I'd say it's very comparable to that. It's comparable probably to a Goldwing. But, you know, if you're coming off of a hooligan bike or a sport bike or even just a traditional motorcycle, it's not going to brake like those. It's just not. It can't. So just understand that the Spider offers an alternative to what you're doing out there. And this isn't meant to be a sales pitch. This is for people who are at that place where they're just, am I too old? Am I too weak? Am I too fragile? Am I too embarrassed? The front three, if you can physically do, then you need to throw that fourth one. You need to throw, am I going to be too embarrassed? Is it going to feel awkward? Am I going to feel odd? Are people going to look at me different? They might. And you know, people, again, I'm sure the comments, I don't care what people think. Most people actually do care what people think. And it can be uncomfortable. It can be. You know, when I go to Bike Week, a lot of times I'm looked at by guys that I know. They look at me like I have an eyeball growing out of the middle of my forehead. I mean, you know. And you know, when we pull that wheelchair out, I'm going to tell you right now, they freak out. And when they find out what we've done on this thing, when they see that we have crossed a continent twice, you know, when they see all that stuff. You see that? These guys on these Harleys, they're giving us the wave, man. They're giving us the wave. You know, I have a lot of friends, oh, you know, they don't wave at me. Well, they wave at me. And if they don't, my feelings aren't going to be hurt. I'm not going to go out on a date with them, you know. What do we have in common? Motorcycles. Okay, great. Doesn't even mean you'd like that person. You don't know. They may not even be nice people. But it is nice to get a wave. There are people that completely overlook the two-wheelers and go straight to the Spider. And that number is growing daily. That number is growing daily. Look at this guy on the mini bike. Check him out. No lights, no brake lights, no tag, no nothing. It's just a little mini bike. Briggs and Stratton. That's fun, man. It's not legal, but it's fun. I am not condoning that, but I would certainly do it. I would do that all day. Yeah, oh yeah, he's on camera. Heck yeah, I'd do that all day, girl. I'm gonna tell you right now, he's swinging up to the traffic.
He just jumped right off the opposite while we were going. I would have done that.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. That's funny. Yeah, yeah. I appreciate that guy pulling out in front of me so he could get in that Popeyes. Little Johnny Appleseed going to get him some Popeyes. Oh, you know, so even as when we were kids, right? You know, we had that feeling of, you know, does this motorcycle fit me, right? Do I want to ride this one or that one? So that perception's always been there. You know, I walked into the Harley dealer a week ago, and I had on all my gear. When I pulled up, one of the guy goes, "Welcome, spaceman." Yeah, because I had on my jacket and my helmet and my boots and all that stuff, and I kind of did my little thing like I was on the moon, and we all laughed about it. And we actually had a conversation. It wasn't one of the guys that worked there. It was a guy that was wearing nothing but a vest and a half helmet, and we had a conversation about gear and the philosophy of whether you should wear gear all the time or part of the time and all of that. And when he found out my riding background and that I'd ridden for years, for almost 20 years without a helmet, he was actually quite shocked to see me wearing all of this gear. I had ridden a Harley like 3 times as long as he had been riding Harley. And you know, it's funny because the perception is that, you know, I've always worn Italian jackets and showy helmets, and it's just not the reality. It doesn't mean that and that's that thing. I don't look down at those people. I used to look at people as kind of goofy who wore everything. I did. I'm just being honest. I mean, you can say what you want. You know, we change, we grow, and so I think that is part of that acceptance. I think it's nice to see that CanAm or BRP, generally speaking, they've made the Spider a little more approachable. The Riker's been a big part of that. They've made it a very affordable thing that you can accessorize and make it your own. That's what Harley did so well over the years, is you would buy a Harley and then you would spend as much on it, making it look like yours, as you would on the motorcycle itself. It was a platform. It was a canvas, if you will, you know, and that's kind of what the Riker is. It's a canvas to make it what you want it to be, and that's a really, really neat thing. And I think that as a lot of the Riker riders who are, you know, just kind of driving around in town and doing their thing, as they get older and want to tour, or they become more, you know, long distance riders and want to do things, you know, go on a weekend trip and not be quite as uncomfortable, I think the Spider is going to be a great platform for them. Man, this place has grown. Look at that, Vic. Every time I come down here, it's changed again. Was that even here the last time that wasn't here, was it? Wow. I'll bet you on game day that place is a pretty penny. All right. Well, I hope you've gotten a little something out of that, about physically, but the emotional side I think is probably the biggest stumbling block for a lot of historical riders. Certainly the guys who come from the background of leather and black boots and wanting to be the cool guy. And you are a cool guy. You're a cool guy, reference you, not what you ride. You're going to get off that motorcycle and you're still going to be you. So enjoy the experience of what you're capable of riding, because it is wonderful to be able to get out and do this. And if it wasn't for the Spyder, Vicky would have never gone with me. She just never would have. Are you a ceiling smasher, Vicky? You are. All right, so till next time, do me a favor, go out and
Buy the motorcycle you dream.
Eat right.
Take care of yourself.
And remember,
if you're not having fun,
you can finish it.
Oh, you're doing it wrong.
You are doing it wrong if you ain't having fun. Now you go out and seize the day. Coach Vic and I'll see you on the road real soon. Hopefully riding a Spyder.